Your boy is getting nice with this. It's like a one-stop shop right here when it comes down to that backdrop. Yeah, let's do that today. Let's get in a little extra room. How y'all doing there? It's your boy Bugatti NYC. Welcome to our bottom line. We made it to Saturday morning. Top of the world, ma. Saturday morning. Trump, Epstein is complete bullshit. Who we got up in here already? Liberty and justice. More. I see you, Rebecca. Let's get into it, y'all, because it's almost time. Hope you guys had a fantastic evening. I know I did. It's time to get it started. We got a fantastic lineup for you. We got a lot of Epstein follow-up. We got a lot on tariffs. But you know what? Before all that, bling, bling, bling. I'm ready to go. Bling, bling, bling. It's time to start the show. Bling, bling, bling. I'm letting you know. Bling, bling, bling. Are you ready, yo? Bling, bling, bling. I'm ready to go. Bling, bling, bling. All right. Come on, Kit. It's time to ride out. Anytime you're ready. Bling, bling, bling. Maybe you want to come to y'all. Bling, bling, bling. It's time to get on. Bling, bling, bling. Come on, yo. Bling, bling, bling. Ready to start the show. Show. Anytime you're ready. Anytime you're ready. Everyone is waiting on you. And that was crazy right there, boy. That was crazy right there. And I was a fiend. Before I became a teen, I melted microphones instead of cones of ice cream. You was orientated. So when hip hop was originated, fitted like pieces of puzzles, complicated. Because God grabbed the mic and tried to say, yes, y'all. They try to take it and say that I'm too small. Cool. I don't get upset. I kick a hole in the speaker, pull a plug, then I jet. Y'all know why I'm open, right? Cause if pump that B. It's Saturday, August 9th. That's right, y'all. It's 2025. I'm your host, Bugatti NYC, and this here's our bottom line. But we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that and that. Where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Just got me lit. We made it, y'all. Another Saturday morning. Pull up on your boy, grab your bowl of cereal, do what you gotta do. It's time for that. Damn you! You killed my master. That Saturday morning heat. It's Saturday. We made it to another morning. Can't wait to see who's up in here. We got a lot in the lineup. I got a fully loaded clip. We got a lot to get into, you guys. I hope you guys had a fantastic evening. Why? Because you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Let's see who's up in the building this Saturday morning, August 9th. We got Mark Dorfman up in the building. We got Liberty and Justice up here. And my homegirl, Rebecca Lanyan Bueno. That's right. Where's she tapping in from? Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's right, you guys. Hope you're having a great day, Rebecca. Hope you're feeling healthy because we always pray for our co-host. That's right. Who else we got up in here? We got my boy, Mark Dorfman. What's up? Who else we got? Jim is up in here this morning. Ultra MAGA Arizona. Okay, I see you, baby. I see you. I think y'all ready to go. I'm ready to stack this deck. I got a fully loaded clip, and guess what? Without any further ado, the title might be one day late, but let me tell you something. The content is on point, and we ahead of everybody. So let's get into what we do. Let's get into it. Let's get into these titles. What we got right here is Trump. Epstein probe is complete bullshit. That's right. I said it. He said it first, so I'm going to say it too. Past the 3-minute mark, so we can say what we got to say. Let's keep on moving, you guys. That's what he said the other day. We're going to get into that as well as much more. We got also in the titles, we have a man that's been arrested for allegedly, that's right, still nabbing another man inside of a New York City train. A robbery gone terribly wrong, you guys. I guess Kathy Joku Hoku really wants to really leave us every man for himself, because not only is it unsafe in the train stations, but all the police are now leaving. We got to get into all of that stuff, and we're going to keep on moving, you guys, because now we've got the Prince Andrew. There he is right there. Prince Andrew, his accuser, Virginia Giuffre, she spoke out in an exclusive interview, a new interview that I found that nobody else has seen. I want you guys to see that clip. We got so much to get into as far as Epstein. We got tariffs to talk about. We got Russia, and the collusion. But you know what we're going to do? We got to get into some breaking news. So instead of me playing around, let's really get to work, because I know what you guys came for. I'm ready to bust a sweat before I ask for a like, and let's get it going, you guys. Also, remember, don't forget to let me know where you guys are chiming in from, because we always like to grab information from where you're chiming in from, city, state, or country. You know what I mean? Also, let me know what time it is right there, because it's 6 o'clock in New York. It could be 3 in the afternoon where you're at. We love to know that as well. Let's get right into it. We got some information, updates from our President Trump. He's talking about a lot of different things, but little key points that we're going to get into right here. Let's go.
I signed an executive order to open the National Center for Warrior Independence in Los Angeles, California, which will house up to 6,000
veterans,
homeless vets. It's going to be beautiful.
Now, you know, I've been saying that since day one. Take that money you've been giving to everybody and give it to the vets who deserve it. Finally, they heard me.
And just last week, I signed the VA Home Loan Program Reform Act, a big deal to help ensure no veteran is kicked out of their home for a late payment. If you're a little bit late, don't worry about it. And frankly, if you're a lot late, you don't have to worry about it either. You just get it in when you can. Get it in when you can. And America's veterans have done their duty for us. And under the Trump administration, we are doing our duty for you. Okay, that's the way it's supposed to be. One of our brave soldiers with us today is Army veteran specialist Kevin Jensen. In 2008, Specialist Jensen was a gunner in a Humvee racing to support a platoon ambushed by the Taliban in Afghanistan. His vehicle was hit by a roadside bomb, flew 10 feet. He flew 10 feet up into the air and
Syracuse
exploded in flames.
3
The
a.m.
whole place was on flames, including, unfortunately, Kevin. But he suffered deep third-degree burns, and all over his body he was in trouble, big trouble. Despite the agony, he selflessly ran to the aid of his platoon leader, who was engulfed, or just absolutely, everyone thought he was gone. He was engulfed in fire. "Sir, I've got you. I've got you, sir," Kevin shouted and pulled his friend to safety. Specialist Jensen earned the Purple Heart, and he's here today with the platoon leader whose life he saved, and our newly sworn-in VA Undersecretary for Medical Affairs, Captain Sam Brown. Kevin and Sam, please stand. And I know Sam very well. Sam is great.
Got the Purple Heart for that.
What a combination. He's okay, right? Huh?
Kevin got the Purple Heart for that.
Great, Sam. Look good. Thank you very much.
Now, preceding this, I'm sorry, not preceding this, but after this, we had other major accounts going on, so we have to get to it. We appreciate that. And yes, always show love to our veterans and show mad respect for the Purple Heart gainers. We got to move forward now, because we got shots fired at a major police action active shooter at an Atlanta campus. Officer lost his life, and he passed away. So we really got to get into this right now. We have a lot of people that's fighting for us out there, right in front of the front lines. When people going nuts out there, we got a lot of situations. August is a very serious month when it comes down to pow. So we got to really be careful. It's already going down, you guys. This was an active pow situation in Atlanta. Now, don't mean to do that to you. Hold on a minute. There, we actually had some updates because this was in the morning time, that right there. Just wanted you guys to see what was going on. But definitely I want you to see who he was and the follow up with it. In DeKalb County, we have an officer that no longer is alive that we have to definitely pray for. Atlanta situation, and we finally identified the active power.
To track developments in this story. Of course, one thing that we want to make you aware of is that we now know the identity of the officer who was killed today. DeKalb County saying it is with profound sadness and heavy hearts that we announce the passing of Officer David Rose, who was tragically killed in the line of duty. The DKPD sending this out. I believe they have a series of tweets that they put out describing the officer. Officer Rose served DeKalb County with courage, integrity, and unwavering dedication. Even in the face of danger, was he diligent in his duty to protect our community? I believe the next one has a photo of Rose. We extend our deepest condolences to Officer Rose's family, friends, fellow DeKalb County officers, and law enforcement community during this most difficult time.
That's right, you guys. And we want to extend our prayers and our thoughts to the family, as well as the members of the police department and the people who were tragically a part of this event. And we want to ask that we get some calmness and resolve and some strength to get through this terrible time. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. We're going to keep on moving forward, you guys, to get a little bit more of this information and keep it going.
Again, we cannot imagine how Rose's family, friends, and fellow officers are feeling tonight. We do know that he was killed by what at the time was an active shooter. This all unfolded inside a CVS at Emory Point. It prompted at the time lockdowns at the CDC, Emory University, and nearby facilities. We do know that 92 children from a CDC campus daycare were safely evacuated and reunited with parents at that building. Several CDC buildings were struck by gunfire. And the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is leading the case with assistance from APD, the FBI, and other agencies. A motive has not been determined. We are learning now of the identity of Officer Rose, who was killed today in the line of duty. We continue.
All right, you guys, we got to keep moving now. We got to get on over and get some more information out to you guys. That was a very tragic event. You know, when officers, you know, I know a lot of people don't like the police, of course, but, you know, the ones that actually are pretty good, that actually come into our defense when things like that happen, got to say it's a very tragic event when you have to go through something like that. And I know everybody's feeling it. We got to get over to President Trump because he's calling for the Intel CEO for his immediate resignation. I think it has something to do with the business, as well as it seems like he's doing some pretty questionable practices when it comes down to where he's from and his backing.
Shares of Intel slipped today after President Trump called on the CEO to resign. By the closing bell, the chip maker was down over 3%. Early this morning, President Trump posted to social media, writing in part, quote, "The CEO of Intel is highly conflicted and must resign immediately. There is no other solution to this problem." So the post came after Senator Tom Cotton, a Republican out of the state of Arkansas, raised concerns over the CEO's ties to China. Cotton sent a letter to Intel's board asking if the CEO had divested his interests in Chinese firms. So here's what CBS News contributor J.D. Durkin had to say about the president's move.
Intel CEO Lip Bhutan, he hasn't even been in the job very long, on the receiving end of a post he would probably rather not be on the receiving end of on Truth Social. The president early this morning in the 7 o'clock hour saying the CEO is highly conflicted and must resign immediately. In the words of the U.S. president, there is no other solution to this problem. This largely seems to stem in particular from one big China hawk on Capitol Hill. That's Senator Tom Cotton, a Republican of the state of Arkansas. And he recently wrote to Intel's chair to express concerns about the security and the integrity of Intel's operations. Lip Bhutan was previously the CEO of a little-known company called Cadence Design Systems that had done a lot of work in China. But I will note the timing of this is interesting. We had Tim Cook from Apple in the Oval Office with the president yesterday. There's certainly a power shift, a rivalry of sorts between Apple and Intel, certainly putting downward pressure on shares of Intel today.
I also say I think we have to be very careful with who we doing business with and who buys property and land and shares here. We have another situation going on with farming, where there's a lot of China farmers, China people that bought up a lot of our farmland, and a lot of those farmlands and the farm places that they bought are by a lot of gas stations, as well as our bases, our military bases. I think that's something that we need to pay attention to. We're going to be doing something on that very soon. Let's get over to Gaza. I want you guys to watch this very closely as a moment when this boom strike flattens Gaza. We got to get on over to Gaza. I got to let you guys see what's going on all over the world. It's Saturday. Let me get you guys some information. Hope you guys slept well. Let's get it going. Let's keep it moving. I got to keep on stacking this deck. Want to make sure that we're getting an entire smorgasbord of everything that's going on and everywhere. Let's do that. Let's get it going. Watch this. One more time. Now you're going to see the destruction in which took place. Footage shows the moment of an Israeli strike flattening the home in West Gaza. Local reporters say the strike caused fatalities and injuries, but the exact toll remains unconfirmed. So it struck a building and the debris came in the street. Everybody is nervous over here. There's people in these houses. Like I always tell you guys, majority of the time it's the urban areas that get affected when WARs happen. It's always the urban areas. Now they're going to start going into that and seeing what's going on after it clears up a little bit. And you're going to see the destruction of what really happened down there. They're scared to go down there, of course. I would be too. They're going to start going down. Now we're going to see the actual results of that blast. Whole building. So the building, as well as major destruction, there's no idea of how many people lost their lives in that tragic event. And we definitely don't care what race, color, creed, or whatever you are. We still have to pray for you, as well as the families, everyone who lost their lives in that tragic event. We ask for peace and resolve in this entire situation, Lord. And we ask this today, immediately. Amen. Amen. We got to go on over to New Hampshire now, where we got a video that shows groups of neo-Nazis. You ain't gonna get me. Neo-Nazis clashing at a protest. Looks like everywhere we go now, it seems like everyone has their own political views as well as their own, personal views. And there's a lot of clashing going on because everyone is now being very vocal. Got to get on over to New Hampshire, where this situation is going on right here. Check this out.
Tensions flared in downtown Concord this weekend as a group of masked protesters donning Nazi symbols clashed with bystanders.
Concord police are now investigating, and the New Hampshire Department of Justice's Civil Rights Unit is keeping a close eye on the case. NBC 10's Mary Marcos joins us live in front of the State House where this all began. Mary, tell us what happened here.
JC, it started with screams at the steps of the State House and ended with a U-Haul getaway down the road. And people who saw it, some of them are disappointed with how police responded. Hate symbols in the heart of Concord and a confrontation caught on camera.
All of a sudden around 1:30, we started hearing visceral screams coming from downtown.
More than a dozen masked white supremacists lined.
Sorry about that, y'all. That wasn't looking too good. Oh, did I mess it up? If so, we got to skip. Sorry about that. But it wasn't. It was looking terrible. I'm sorry about that. I made a mistake. I should not have done that. Let me try to start it again. Let's see. You guys gonna be patient with your boy. Nope, we gotta keep going. Can't, sometimes even if I mess up, I gotta take that on the chin. Poof, own it. I made a mistake. We're gonna get on over to New York with Kathy Joku Hoku, one of the worst governors ever that you ever. Oh, this lady wants you to ride on the subway or pay $9 to go past 60th Street. If you don't have a Easy Pass, it's going to be $14. If you have an Easy Pass, it's $9. So some of us have to risk our lives and basically take the most dangerous subways known to man. Now that we have a man arrested for real knobbing another man for a cell phone, and he got stabbed as well. You guys, I want you to check this out. I really don't like our governor right now, and it's not only for that for one reason. It's for many things that we have going on right now.
Suspect still on the loose, and this latest subway attack began with a cell phone robbery and ended with a woman now recovering in the hospital with multiple slash wounds.
She's currently healing.
Michelle speaking anonymously Thursday evening to Pix 11 News about her 29-year-old sister who was the victim of a cell phone robbery and subsequent knife slashing. Injuries the sister suffered when she tried to fight off her alleged attacker, seen in these surveillance images, on board a number 3 train late Wednesday evening near the Wall Street subway station.
She has a wound in her back and a couple of slashes on her arms and both of her palms from the attacker's knife.
The unidentified suspect then ran off. Michelle's sister remains in stable condition. The knife attack is the second in the subway system this week. Police say on Tuesday evening, 21-year-old Carlos Rivera stabbed a woman in the subway near 23rd Street and 8th Avenue in Chelsea.
Wow.
Rivera now faces attempted murder and assault charges.
Wow.
I do feel like a lot of women are concerned for their safety and have been for a long time on the subway. But there's just not really any other choice for low-income people or anyone trying to not spend very much to travel.
Yeah, so that's what we got to deal. You heard what she said. Is that a lot of women are victims, and a lot of low-income people have no other choice but to take the subway. Thank you, Kathy Joku Hoku. Now you see why I call her that. And now that things are playing out, I told you so. But some things, even myself, I hate to be right about the wrong shh. That's one of my sayings. Hate to be right about the wrong shh. Let me see what you guys got to say about these comments, because that was your 5. Here we go. We got VIP auction group. Please double tap your screen to like the video. Things, yep, thanks. I'd be so stressed about trying to get anywhere there. Yeah, imagine trying to go somewhere. Totally sacrifice all of the principles facing, etc. Okay, Golden Predator. Tracer, welcome, and you'll love it here. Okay, when I'm needed something, I'll go to the Lord, and he always provides. That's what I do too, John. Take away that Tolly. Bring back Bernard Getz. Ooh, that was a real deep one right there. Anybody want to know about Bernard Getz? Look him up, because guess what? Like I said before, you think you're going to defend yourself in New York, you better think again, because they got another plan. Now let's get on over to Detroit. Is Detroit a sanctuary city? Because we got 2 people that were pow-powed over money in Detroit on the east side. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. Do your boy a favor. Let's double tap that screen to get those likes up. Let's go. It's time. It's Saturday, y'all. Let's go.
The breaking news alert.
And that breaking news, a money dispute turns violent on Detroit's east side. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Ty Steele. Detroit police say it's another case of people turning to guns to settle disagreements. Police say it all started just after 5 o'clock tonight on...
Damn, I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. I knew it. I had a problem with the internet yesterday, you guys. We had a situation where Spectrum had a shutdown of entire power grid over here in New York on my side, and it's probably affecting all of the videos that are in the streamline here. Oh, so as you can see, there was first poor quality on the videos, and then after that you saw, all right, we had a situation where now we got the videos not playing all the way through. So we're gonna see what we can do. We're going to see if we can salvage this situation. Try to grab a new internet joint right here, see if we can get back online. We need to jump back online whenever you're ready here, buddy. Okay, we're back online. Now we're going to see if we could possibly, let's see if refreshing this might work this time. I'm really
Your news starts now with a breaking news alert.
And that breaking news, a money dispute turns violent on Detroit's east side. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Ty Steele. Detroit police say it's another case of people turning to guns to settle disagreements. Police say it all started just after 5 o'clock tonight on Strong Street near Van Dyke and 94. Things escalated quickly and then shots were fired. The suspect ran to a car and took off, but police caught them soon after during a traffic stop. When police stopped the car, they found a passenger who'd also been shot. Police are still trying to figure out exactly what happened and why. Detroit police say they're stepping up to stop the violence.
People just don't have conflict resolution skills. They're going to a gun instead of trying to talk things through. There's no reason in the world that somebody has to be shot because they owe you money. It just means nothing. But we got something for them. If violence is what they want to do, then they'll have to answer to us.
If there is anything good in all this, police say it's that everyone involved in the shooting is going to survive. We'll keep you updated as we learn more in this case.
God, that's no joke. See, sometimes, just got to keep yourself in prayer, man. He's going to pull you through, man. Just keep on doing. Like I told you, sometimes you be running for that train door, and guess what? It'll stay open, and you can slide on through and make it happen. I hope we back up. I hope we good. You see your boy was over there praying. Come on, God, let us get this show going. Don't mess up. Y'all saw me over there, right? I know y'all caught me, right? I know y'all caught me over there. Wait a minute. Wanna be, yes, and he looks good. Liberty and justice. He's every day in the D. That's right. We always in the D. That's my peoples over there in the D. Right, Batty? Come on, Batty. You know what the deal is. Even if she ain't here right now. Wait a minute. She probably somewhere in the comments over there. VIP auction group. How you doing this morning? Don't be rude. Don't play with VIP now. How about this VIP? You already know what it is. Put them in a line of fire and let me at them. I'll splat them. All you got to do is say their name, and I'ma get them out of here. Out of here. Just say their name, and I'ma get them out of here. I'm gonna do this right here. Y'all know how I do it, right? Do. Boom, and they out of here. You already know VIP, so let me know. And let me at them. I'll splat them. I hope everybody having a good morning. I love all y'all, so y'all already know what it is. So let's go. We got to get on over to Washington because Trump officials, we got Epstein. Trump officials talking about Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. Is that already coming up on the screen, y'all? Are we already dealing with Jeffrey Epstein's situation right now? Is that where we at with it? Okay.
J.D. Vance will lead a discussion, and Vice President J.D. Vance will lead a discussion about the Jeffrey Epstein case with top officials from the Trump administration today. We're told the officials will debate whether to release the transcript of Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche's conversation with Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell. And CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman joins me now. So, Katrina, what more do we know about this conversation between the Deputy AG and Ghislaine Maxwell and this meeting on whether to give the public a chance to listen to it?
Well, Tom, we've learned that during that discussion with Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell, supposedly nothing came out that would harm President Trump. She said that she didn't see any behavior from him that was concerning. And this is something people have been wondering about because this meeting seems shrouded in so much secrecy, took place over 2 days. Very unusual for the Deputy Attorney General to go and meet with a convicted felon. But we do now know that there is a recording of this, that there are transcripts. And as you mentioned, they're going to be meeting tonight to discuss what they want to release and how. Will this be a news conference? Will it be an interview? What will the public get to see from this? There is obviously so much curiosity here.
Yeah, this really has taken a life of its own on social media, especially with so much interest.
Oh, boy.
So, we also got new reaction from the relatives of one of Jeffrey Epstein's most well-known accusers, Virginia Giuffre, someone President Trump has said was stolen from him while employed at Mar-a-Lago. So what did they say?
So, Tom, this was a powerful interview that Gayle King did this morning with Virginia Giuffre's brother and sister because Virginia Giuffre committed suicide. She can no longer speak for herself. Let's listen to what they had to say.
In conversations with Virginia, she really described Ghislaine as almost this puppet master, that she kind of was the brains behind recruiting the girls and really used like her womanhood to build that trust and lure these girls in, and then the mask would slip.
I think if anybody needs to be heard, it's the survivors. They should have a voice. They should have a platform to be able to stand on. And right now, all we're listening to is somebody that is known to be a perjurer.
True.
And that has been
Why are
a
we
big thing
listening
here,
to her?
Tom, that
Why are
the
they listening to
administration
her?
is talking to Ghislaine Maxwell, but what about all of these victims? There was also a moment where they read from Virginia Giuffre's journal. She said, "I have physical and mental scars that will never heal. I have memories that will never go away. They say time can heal, but this won't. Not until justice makes an example out of these people with so-called privileges."
All right, y'all, we got to keep on going. I know y'all like, wait a minute, you cutting off the clip that got to do with Epstein. Yes, I am, because we got to keep on going, because we got a synagogue in New Jersey that was destroyed and what they're calling burnt to a crisp. Check this out, you guys. New Jersey, that synagogue, they had a family living in there with the rabbi as well as the family. Luckily, they got out.
This morning, firefighters in New Jersey battling a fire at a synagogue in Rutherford, a building that has stood there for about 75 years.
Yeah, so the congregation's 100 years old, but the church itself, 75. I mean, decades and decades. The flames caused the building to collapse. Eyewitness News reporter Phil Tate is right in front of it. As you said, Phil, it has burnt to a crisp.
Yeah, Charlene, good morning. It's burnt to a crisp. And moments ago, we just heard from the Rutherford, New Jersey mayor, as well as the police chief, and they tell us that the rabbi, along with his family, was inside of this house of worship when this fire had kicked off. The good news that I can tell you is that they are all safe and sound this morning and that they are staying nearby. I want you all to take a live look at the continued effort of these firefighters. Right now, they're hitting several hotspot areas. The structure, which we're told is 3 stories, had collapsed. And we see this continued effort by these firefighters because it becomes harder for them to really hit every layer of what's left behind this morning. Now, still a very active scene. This is as close as we could get to the scene. Now, crews had several of their ladders extended overhead. As neighbors, they're just looking at all of the piles of rubble left behind. Let's get straight to some video on your screen from about 2 hours ago. Officials say the fire tore through the structure on Montrose Avenue. This was just before 3 this morning. Firefighters were met by heavy flames, and they were hammered by live wires down in front of the structure. The building appeared collapsed within an hour, with firefighters battling hotspots and flying embers that they say was a major concern. The good news is that there was no spread, as they were also looking at other properties that could have been affected. Now, this building houses Congregation in Bethel Chabad of South Bergen County and the Meadowlands. But moments ago, we heard from the chief. I want you all to take a listen.
Luckily, the rabbi and his family, 6 members total, were the only individuals in the structure. They were able to get out unharmed, but the structure was a complete loss, like I said, relatively quickly.
A major loss, and as my photographer Will just...
Yeah, that's terrible.
You could buy on your own.
That's terrible. That's a terrible situation right there. Luckily, they got out before anything worse could happen to them, and there was nobody else in there. We're going to keep on going with the story and try to follow through and see if there's some shifty situations that could have been probably going on to originate the fire. Let's keep on moving forward because we got to go over to Florida. We got this video released of a deputy that was involved in a crash that, took the life of a bicyclist. I don't want to say what's there, so I'm going to say took the life of a bicyclist, because the way that this tragic event happened was pretty terrible. I want you guys to see this right here. I'm gonna refresh this to make sure that the end of it doesn't mess up.
We're now getting a brand new look at it.
Okay, and I'm gonna do this right here and bring this back so that you guys can see this on an open screen. This is a video of a deputy involved in a bike crash. All right, let's go.
Deadly crash involving a Martin County deputy and a bicyclist over in Jensen Beach. Sheriff's officials now, they say that it was not their fault. They think that this video will prove that. CBS 12's Al Peffley joining us live over in Jensen Beach tonight with the story.
Jim, the crash happened here at this intersection in Jensen Beach. The sheriff says the crash report is not done yet, but he says based on all the information he's seen so far, along with the video, it appears the deputy did follow all department policies and procedures.
Got a new member?
New video
Liberty
from the
and
Martin County
justice,
Sheriff's
hit
Office
those
shows
likes.
a deputy
Thank
responding
you,
to a
Liberty.
scene, hitting a bicyclist who was going through an intersection on July 26th. Behind the wheel of the patrol car was Deputy Joshua Peace. Body camera video shows Peace running over to help the bicyclist who was laying on the pavement at the intersection of Jensen Beach Boulevard and Green River Parkway at about 5:30 in the morning.
Hey, brother. Hey, brother. 10-4, start fire rescue.
A short time later, a female sheriff's deputy arrives at the intersection to assist while waiting for paramedics.
Right, we got fire rescue coming, all right? We're here with you.
He hurt bad.
Just breathe.
The bicyclist, 79-year-old John Mullins, was flown to the hospital
Oh,
but
my
did not
God.
survive.
Oh,
At one
God.
point in the video, Deputy Peace told the other deputy what happened.
I had a green light. He was going through.
The sheriff says Deputy Peace was on his way to another traffic accident with his lights and siren on when Mullins ran a red light and rode into the path of the deputy who had a green light.
So far in our investigation, he's within our policies and procedures. He's running lights and sirens. He has the right of way. His speed limit is not excessive.
The sheriff says the deputy was going about 5 to 7 miles per hour over the speed limit, which in that area is 45 miles per hour.
You can see that he's got a green light, and you can see the victim cross in front of the deputy at an angle, again, not going across a crosswalk, not adhering to traffic rules, which bicyclists are supposed to do. And
We have that a lot. We have that happen with pedestrians. We have it happen with people on bikes. We have it happen a lot. And the sad part about it is that's why it's called an accident. In New York, when that happens, they have no fault insurance where you have to pay from $25,000 to $50,000 because no matter what, when someone gets hurt, you have to have insurance for the medical coverage. So no matter if it's their fault and if you hit them, you still got to pay that out. And if you got to pay over, you're going to get sued for that in court. How do I know? They just tried to get me for my motorcycle. Right now, we want to pray for the life for the person that got hit in this tragic event and lost their life. We want to pray for the family as well as the officer, because I'm sure that he's shooken up about this as well. Give them strength and resolve. And we ask that in Jesus' name. Amen. Terrible situation. You guys, a 79-year-old man, and he's out there trying to do something athletic to give him longer life as we all know it. Why would he be out there bicycling? And it's probably one of his hobbies. So it's sad, very sad event. But guess what? Sometimes when you're in a rush to go somewhere, you think about it, it's not even a rush if you think about it. Shouldn't even ran across that light, should have waited for the right of way, and he would have had a better chance of survival. We've got to keep on moving forward, you guys. We got to come back on over to New York because we've got body cam footage of that man that was the power in the previous interactions with the police. This is the one that came to New York with the machine pow, and he basically went inside of the building trying to get to the NFL, but he went to the wrong place. Well, we've got some previous conversations and information about the power, and he had an interaction with the police before.
About the mental health struggles of the man who gunned down 4 people in the Midtown Manhattan.
Communication.
Come on.
Language.
We'll
People
take it.
take them for granted.
Manhattan office shooting spree. Just released body cam shows the mass killer, Shane Tamura, interacting with Las Vegas police in the years leading up to the Manhattan massacre.
Active shooter, 345 Park Avenue.
September 2023. Tamura had just won $5,000 gambling at a casino. Cops were called after he refused to identify himself or show ID to collect his winnings and shoved a casino worker.
So they wanted you to show ID. Very simple. Right. You didn't want to do it. Right. Okay, that means they're not giving you your money. So I'm under arrest. Okay? So I'm under arrest. You're having a real hard time. You're being detained right now. I'm asking you, am I under arrest?
He's kicked out, but comes back and tries to re-enter the casino.
You guys can't go in there and cash me out? How do I make rent?
It's a civil issue,
Dude,
Shane.
that's $5,000. How do I make rent?
Not my problem.
August 2024. Tamura's mother calls 911 to report her son is having a bipolar episode.
He said he's going to kill himself. He just said he just can't take it anymore.
He voluntarily agrees to have a mental health evaluation. Last week, Tamura drove cross-country to the Park Avenue skyscraper where he gunned down 4 victims. Now, many are questioning how he was legally able to own a gun with his long history of troubling behavior.
I'm asking you, am I under arrest?
Now we got to get on over to Janine Pirro, because she's saying that when it comes down to these children / teenagers, but they're really 19, there's too much coddling going on. That's like when the mama come out and say, "That's my boy. He ain't never did nothing to nobody." But then on the streets, they know him as little bang bang or pow pow. Huh? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Let's get on over to Washington, D.C. as our U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro says young people are being coddled as Trump's threatened the DC takeover. I want you guys to see this. This is some good information right here. I thought that she really put it down in what she said. Janine Pirro said, "Hell with TV, I'm not playing." And she said some really informative things that I think we need to know.
Support a federal takeover of Washington, D.C., as the president has suggested?
Yeah, that is a decision for the president. And I think that what the president was saying is that we're seeing far too much crime being committed by young people, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, that I can't get my hands on. I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures, but, you know, young people are coddled, and they don't need to be coddled anymore. They need to be held accountable. They shouldn't be going to arts and crafts in family court. They need to understand that enough is enough, and that the DC Council has to repeal some of these absurd ordinances and laws that they've had passed that do nothing to protect the people of this city and of this district. And I will reference a case that I wrote an op-ed piece on that I've been talking about for weeks. A young person gets on a bus with an illegal gun. There is a family on the bus. He makes a decision to shoot someone in the chest. There, to me, that's intent to kill. But for the grace of God, that individual did not die. Now, he's got a gun. It's illegal. He used the gun. Guess what the sentence was? I got a conviction. The sentence was probation. We can't have that. And by the way, he wasn't a kid. He was 19. These are the rules of the DC Council. They've got to be changed. We've got to have the ability to let young people know that they're going to be accountable. And if you look at some of these pictures of these kids being beaten by crews and bloodied up, and you want to tell me that, you know, it's only a kid who did it, no. Take a look at the bloodied up face and body, and you'll know that it's more than little kids doing this kind of thing.
Now it's time for doom 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 doo doo doom doom. Doo doo doom doom. Doom 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 doo doo doom doom. Doo doo doom doom. Doom 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 doo doo doom doom. Ice, ice, baby. Doom doom doom. That's right, you guys. Let's go on over to Colorado, because we got the Black Forest video of the ice in Colorado. They shows a man running from the construction sites. Y'all know what's going on now. Viva! They're trying to get low. They're trying to get low. They running behind them. They got all types of activity going on. Let's check out what's going on at this Colorado construction site. And I know what's happening right here, so we're going to refresh this. We ain't gonna
Imagine bringing your side project to life.
We're not going to get caught out there. We're going to refresh that screen first to make sure we got the clarity.
Now to new exclusive video we obtained from last week's targeted ICE operation in the Black Forest area. The video shows at least 3 men running from law enforcement near the construction site, where an officer fired 3 shots at a vehicle. It all happened as other exclusive video we obtained shows another man hiding under a homeowner's barbecue grill. You see it there under that cover for hours after the raid. Based on our reporting, that house is 1 block away from where ICE says the officer fired those shots. ICE says there were 2 men in the vehicle when the driver tried to hit officers with the vehicle. ICE says the driver then sped off, later abandoning the vehicle. One of those men was arrested on Thursday afternoon.
So yeah, y'all see the one that hid inside the barbecue grill, right? He was like, look, I don't know. I got to get anywhere to get up out of here. And you know what? If he stayed, they said he stayed in there for hours, but they never said if they caught him. Maybe that was the one that they said that they caught. But they did say that he was in there for hours. So how did they know that he was in there for hours? That's my question. I got to get you guys this one right here, because this is another PDF that we really got to get into. Who's that over there laughing right there? I know, Casey, right? Doom, 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 doom. Bust it. Yo, we're going to keep on going, right? Because we got this Lewis County situation where I can't say that word. We got this ex-offender who allegedly posed as someone else on social media. And guess what he got? He got locked up. They won't let him out. Yes, he tried to do this before, and they got him, y'all. They got him. Let's go. Let's keep on moving forward, y'all. They got him. I'm so glad they caught him.
Sex offender in Lewis County is back in jail. The
Good.
sheriff's office there says 33-year-old Joseph Clement II used a Facebook profile under an alias not listed on his registry. Investigators say he's been convicted of the same thing in the past, and the charge is a felony. Clement's bail is set at $10,000. In 2014, he was sentenced to 6.5 years in state prison for having sex with a 12-year-old girl.
Got him. Got him.
You
see what I'm saying? You don't hear about the meat of the story until it's the end. Yeah, that's why we so glad that he got the silver bracelets. Silver bracelets. Silver bracelets. They're one size fits all for everybody. And if they don't fit, they'll put two pair together. And if you act up, they got some leg shackles for you. Nothing can beat a Jet 2 vacation. Nothing can beat a Jet 2 vacation. Watch your head. And then you in the back of the car like this, thinking about all the stuff that you done went through in your life. That little pizza shop over there looking delicious right now. That Chinese restaurant, you ain't gonna be able to go over there for a long time. So you know what? Nah, man, we'd rather do it the hard way, bang that nail, and live the straight and good life. That's what we do over here, Our Bottom Line. If you guys appreciate the content, double tap that screen and get those likes up, because your boy is on a roll right now. We've been live since 6 o'clock in the morning. We got the #1 co-host in the country, period. Y'all ain't messing with us. Y'all don't see that right there? Look at Liberty right there. Look at Rebecca right there. They ain't no joke. They used to let the mic smoke. We're gonna keep on moving forward right now because, oh boy, we gotta go to New York again. We got the city's mayoral election. And we got Kathy Joku Hoku here, the clown. That's why she's always dressed up as the Joker. Remember that. Anytime you see this, that's Kathy Joku Hoku. And she's insane like Crazy Eddie used to be. So now we got this person that's saying, don't try to come over here and strong arm us out of anything in New York, says about the election, because Trump is trying to, get behind any other person besides Mom Dami. And Kathy Joku Hoku actually had the nerve to say, don't come over here and strong arm anybody, like she really has some resolve here. Let's get into this real quick.
Generational shift. I'm sure you saw. Let's talk about upcoming elections and about generational shift. I'm sure you saw there was some new reporting in the New York Times about President Trump weighing the possibility of getting involved in the New York City mayoral. He has, according to this reporting, had a conversation with Cuomo. Does any of that change your thinking about endorsing in this race?
The president to keep his hands off the New York City elections. I don't know whether conversations happened or not. People are saying different things, but you have a big country to run, Mr. President.
What a face.
Why don't you start thinking about the people all across America? We'll handle our own elections. My job as governor is to work with whomever the voters of New York want me to work with. And last I checked, Donald Trump doesn't vote in New York City anymore. He checked out and went to Florida.
But if Donald Trump nationalizes the mayoral election, won't it be a little bit like you stepping into this national fight over gerrymandering? Are you going to be forced to endorse Zoran Mondani?
No, it's nothing pressures me to do what I don't want to do. I'll do what I want to do when I'm ready. I have to have more conversations. There are some serious differences and major areas of agreement. So it is August. This election is November. And right now, I'm fighting a battle for the ages. And I'm not going to take my eye off that fight.
You're not doing jack, and you look like the clown I call you every time. I'm so glad you tried to go and put on a little outfit and put some makeup on, and I guess the Democrats, and I'm just going there, and I'm not a Republican, they think that you're going to try to position yourself stronger because you're pushing yourself against Trump. Guess what? It ain't going to work. Your makeup is coming off, and everything around you is crumbling. We may as well have a roadside group of rebels with a wooden plank going across that tells people when they can go back and forth with this thing that you got going on with the congestive pricing, where they've probably stolen up to about $159 million so far. So when it comes down to the train stations, don't ask us for no more money. And then they got the nerve to be raising the trains rate from $2.90. They was trying to hold it there for a long time because they didn't want to say $3. Now it's going to $3. So now they banging us with the congestive pricing, and now they banging us to get on the train. And then when we get on the train, boop, 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 you better put on some armor because it's real. Call me a fearmongerer, but I live here and I know what's going on. We got to get to the Epstein files because we got an update on some new names that emerged in the Epstein case investigation underway into contacting victims and notifying them. So what's going on now is they're about to start releasing information. And if the DOJ is successful at getting these, if the House is successful in getting the grand jury testimony, they're going to have to redact a lot of names. So that's what they're working on right now. They have to get in contact with a lot of victims. Let's get into these Epstein files. Let's stay up to point so that when it comes out and we do get the files, we know what's going on
As
first.
calls grow for more transparency from the White House, today the Justice Department requested to unseal grand jury materials related to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Joining us now, MSNBC legal correspondent Lisa Rubin, senior reporter at the Bulwark Will Sommer, and former GOP communications director and co-founder and CEO of the Synagogue Project, Tara Setmeyer. And Lisa, the DOJ is first trying to notify the individuals that may come up in these exhibits before they're unsealed. What does this filing now open up, and what does it mean for the timing we could see?
So let's take a step back. Today was the deadline for the Department of Justice to tell the two judges in the Epstein and Maxwell cases, respectively, whether or not they also want the exhibits that were shown to witnesses at the grand jury to be unsealed themselves. And today they've said, yes, they want them unsealed. However, with appropriate redactions, not only for the victims, but for other parties who are personally identified therein. And that's interesting because that means that they will need some additional time, they say in today's letter, to notify anybody who's mentioned in the exhibits, but it's not otherwise mentioned in the transcript. They want until next week, and specifically August 14th, to do that. This whole thing, in terms of at least the briefing, was supposed to be wrapped up earlier this week. So with each new filing, the Department of Justice seemingly is kicking the can down the road, buying itself time, allegedly to notify people, but also, from a victim's perspective, turning this into a drip, drip, drip that is all the more excruciatingly painful from their perspective.
So speaking of that, I know you were just in our break getting more information from the lawyer from several of the victims. What are they saying?
So Jack Scarola, who represents several of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, got back in touch with me. I asked him for a comment on the letter, and he said, the pursuit of grand jury materials and transcripts is a useless and intentional distraction. We will learn nothing by chasing that rabbit. What can and should be immediately disclosed are the 80-plus page prosecution memorandum and the 50-plus page federal indictment that got buried when Alex Acosta, and there he's talking about the former U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida when Jeffrey Epstein cut that infamous deal in 2007, cut that sweetheart deal with Epstein. The answers that need to be pursued are why the federal government would ever enter into an agreement granting blanket immunity to named and unnamed co-conspirators and then agree to actively conceal their sweetheart deal. Why isn't Acosta at the top of the list of witnesses subpoenaed to appear before Congress?
Everyone's asking that question, and like they said, it was state that did that, and then next thing you know, the Fed came in and said, guess what? We don't have any obligation to hold true to those agreements that you guys made with Acosta. So guess what? That is when the Fed came in, swooped in, and arrested Jeffrey Epstein. Now we hear so much political talk, politicians, as well as reporters. I think we need to, just like they said, hear more from the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. Here's one of them. Her name is Jess Michaels, and she's one who says it's time and she wants accountability, not political grandstanding. Let's get it going, you guys. Do your boy a favor, double tap that screen. We on a roll right now. We're not playing. Let's go. Let's get it. Let me get this screen right. And of course, I'm going to refresh because we already know what's going on with these clips from yesterday. Let's go. Let's get right into it.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman. We introduced women.
Yes, yes, she participated. And so when I hear this issue is crossing party lines, there is no one out there that is okay with child sex trafficking.
As you point out, Maria and her sister Annie Farmer testified at Ghislaine Maxwell's trial. And what is also amazing here is that she has been moved after speaking to Todd Blanche, Trump's former attorney, criminal defense attorney, to from Florida to a Texas minimum security prison camp. I don't know if any sex felon has ever been at a minimum security prison camp. Because again, important to point out, and you've worked with so many of these survivors, she's not only accused with conspiring to bring women and girls to Epstein, but she herself abused women.
Yes, yes, she participated. And so when I hear a call for her to be considered a victim of this, I am appalled.
Jess Michaels, she is actually a Jeffrey Epstein victim as well as Ghislaine Maxwell. She is saying that Ghislaine Maxwell put hands on her herself, not just Jeffrey Epstein. Ghislaine.
I'm sick to my stomach that anyone would say a grown woman molesting children is a victim in any way. And we could go on. That's a whole other interview and discussion, Amy, on what is a victim. But it is appalling that there is so little justice for this issue. So on one hand, we have this wonderful public support of finally believing that survivors of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell have been harmed, and they're behind. America is behind the victims, 100%. That's what I'm seeing in my comments. That's what I'm seeing on social media. That's what I'm getting in emails and DMs in an overwhelming degree. And the reason they're responding this way is because they are seeing now, maybe for the first time, the horrific lack of justice for sexual assault survivors when there is so much evidence. Because it's not just all of the videotapes and the audio tapes. It is victim impact statements. All of our victim impact statements are in those files. And we are all saying the same thing. Release them, protect our identities, but release them. Release them now. And guess who else doesn't want those files released? Ghislaine Maxwell does not want those files released.
And she said that on the preceding two videos, the video that we did 2 days ago, Ghislaine Maxwell said, do not release the Epstein files. Why? Because she is now trying to get a appeal for her charges. Now everything is coming together. Do your boy a favor, double tap that screen and let's get those likes up to let more people know what we got going on over here. We're about to get to another survivor. Her name is Teresa Helm. She tells of her account on what happened with Jeffrey Epstein, but the grooming came from Geppetto, who is Ghislaine Maxwell. She does not deserve a pardon or lighter sentence after you guys see this clip. Do your boy a favor, double tap that screen. Let more people know what we got going on over here. We are not playing. Let's put it down. This is Teresa Helm right here. Let's go.
It's been nearly 2 decades of replaying this in my mind. Countless times.
You know, when you describe it in all this detail, you know, I've spoken with a number of people about these types of things on the show, and I can't, this is, you know, strikes me like a textbook case of what they call.
With the first 3 women, you know, I'm excited, I'm thrilled at the opportunity. I really feel that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it certainly has been presented to me as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I get there, I am met with a driver with my name. Now, what I know now about grooming is all of that is part of the process. Having the driver there with my name on the sign is part of the grooming process. It is intentional. It is every move a groomer makes is intentional.
Right.
They wanted me to feel comfortable, tended to, cared for, safe. The driver takes me to the apartment where I'm staying. It's clean, it's comfortable, it's safe. There's food there in case I'm hungry. That's another part of the grooming process because, yet again, it solidifies and sends the message to me that they genuinely care.
Right.
And when you're 22 or younger or even older, you feel as though these these steps are being taken to ensure your comfort and well-being, again, that's an intentional part of the manipulation, the emotional manipulation.
Thank
and
you,
then
John.
my time spent with Ghislaine, and every point that I spoke about, she had something to eat to match me, whether it was about our birthday, whether it was about our dads, whether it was about Ohio. Every single time that I said something and she would meet me with it, it was intended to make an emotional connection with me.
Mhm.
And that's all to build trust, right? So every step of the way is intentional. It's to gain my confidence in them and for me to feel comfortable, confident, and safe and trusting in them. And though I'd only spent an afternoon with Ghislaine, then I'm feeling, even though she just presented to me that I'm going to go meet with her partner, Jeffrey, and it's the first time I've heard that I'm going to go meet with anyone, I feel safe and comfortable and confident and even quite excited because I feel like this part of the interview must have gone so well that I now get the opportunity to go finish the interview and get the job. And so when I leave Ghislaine Maxwell's home and I have a time and an address to go meet at Jeffrey's home,
Mm-hmm.
you know, then I'm walking myself there. You know, again, what I speak about often is that point precisely. I walked myself to the home of the man that was going to abuse me. I walked myself to a predator's home. And I was not forced to go there. I was not tied up and taken there. You know, I walked myself there. And why was I so comfortable and confident and excited to walk myself there? And that was because each of those women had very successfully, very masterfully manipulated me and groomed me into thinking that it was a safe and healthy environment for me to go to.
And then it makes it incredibly difficult because, you know, many of the women didn't leave or didn't find it in them.
I'm not sure exactly what it was, you know, in me that everybody is different. Every scenario is different. You know, yes, in my instance, I was able to go and not go back. And oftentimes, especially with survivors, there's a history of abuse. In my case, that is the case. I have a history of abuse, sexual abuse as a child. And though oftentimes some survivors stay or continue to go back because the situation that they're coming from is actually worse.
Terrible situation right there. Like I said, I'd rather get the information directly from the accounts of the victims. As you heard from her mouth, she said Ghislaine was directly involved with the situation. The prior victim says the same thing. Sadly, there's over 1,000 victims that are saying the same thing. We got to get on over because now we got some information for Prince Andrew. His accuser, Virginia Giuffre, she spoke out in a news interview. This was 5 years old. She goes into description of what Ghislaine Maxwell told her to do. I want you guys to see this right here. Virginia is no longer with us. They're calling it a suicide, but BOOGOTTINYC, I do not believe it. I do not believe it was a suicide. I don't.
Life. It was a really scary time in my life. I had just been abused by a member of a royal family. I didn't know what could happen. And I didn't. It was a wicked time in my life. It was a really scary time in my life. I had just been abused by a member of a royal family. I didn't know what could happen. And I couldn't comprehend how in the highest levels of the government and powerful people were allowing this to happen, not only allowing it to happen, but participating in it.
Virginia Giuffre gave the BBC a detailed account of the first time she says she met Prince Andrew in London in 2001, the night she says this photo was taken at the home of Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell.
But I knew I had to keep him happy because that's what Jeffrey and Ghislaine would expect from me.
Giuffre says she was instructed to have sexual encounters with the prince 3 times when she was 17. The night in London, she says, was the first. It's the same story she told Savannah.
Prince Andrew, of course, denies that this ever happened. He denies that it ever happened, and he's going to keep denying that it ever happened. But he knows the truth, and I know the truth.
I have no recollection of ever meeting her.
In his widely criticized interview with the BBC, the Queen's second son denied ever having sex with Giuffre and said he couldn't explain the photo.
Man, you could tell by his face he lying.
That's me, but whether that's my hand or whether that's the position, but I don't.
Denied ever having sex with Giuffre and said he couldn't explain the photo.
That's me, but whether that's my hand or whether that's the position, but I don't. I have simply no recollection of the photograph ever being taken.
The people on the inside are going to keep coming up with these ridiculous excuses, like the photo was doctored or he came to New York to break up with Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, come on. I'm calling BS on this because that's what it is.
Prince Andrew admits he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, inviting him and Ghislaine Maxwell to Ascot, to the Queen's country estate, and to Windsor for his daughter Beatrice's 18th birthday party. His disastrous BBC interview led to him stepping down from royal duties.
Exactly.
Prince Charles reportedly pushed for that, the
Yep.
71-year-old future king taking on a bigger role inside the royal family.
Now, last week, he said, look, you have no more royal duties. You are not a prince anymore. We need to just start calling him Andrew.
Well, I think transition is the buzzword behind Palace Gates. There is a sense that him and his staff are preparing for the next stage.
In response to the BBC's program, Buckingham Palace again emphatically denied the Duke of York had any form of sexual contact or relationship with Giuffre, and did not see, witness, or suspect any behavior that led to Epstein's arrest. Giuffre's interview was taped before the prince's sit-down.
This is not some sordid sex story. This is a story of being trafficked. This is a story of abuse. And this is a story of your guys' royalty.
She's now asking the British public to help her fight this fight.
So Kelly, lawyers for... As you know, Virginia Giuffre lost her life about 2 months ago. They said she committed suicide. I really don't think so. This is breaking stories, a lot of new information coming out. So yes, a lot of people want to CYA. They're covering their butts. We got to get over to this older video, but it's very important because it derives from Jeffrey Epstein's court days when accusers begged the judge not to allow him bail. And it has a lot of more accounts of his connections, where he made his money, and a lot more.
Thank you, Ward, Barbara McQuaid, thank you both for joining us. Really appreciate it.
The world got great news from Harvard this week. As we have countless times over the centuries with Harvard researchers coming up with new ways to save our lives. Harvard gave us the smallpox vaccine in 1799.
Sorry, guys. Hold on a minute. There we go. What are we doing here? Stop playing with me. I know y'all ain't changed this on me overnight. There we go. Stop playing with me.
In court today about accused child rapist Jeffrey Epstein was a witness who says that Jeffrey Epstein is a scary person. Here is what she told the judge. My name is Courtney Wild. I was sexually abused by Jeffrey Epstein starting at the age of 14. And I would just like to ask the court to not grant him bond, to keep him in detention, just for the safety of any other girls out there that are going through what I'm going through. It is a public case, and it's just, he's a scary person to have walking the streets. The judge asked, where did that occur, the sexual inappropriates? She replied, in Palm Beach, Florida. The judge said he would rule on Jeffrey Epstein's request for bail on Thursday, and today in court, prosecutors revealed that investigators found a locked safe in Jeffrey Epstein's New York City home that contained what they called piles of cash and an expired false passport with Jeffrey Epstein's picture in it and a fake name in it. The passport listed his residence as Saudi Arabia. Joining us now is Vicki Ward, an investigative reporter who profiled Jeffrey Epstein for Vanity Fair in 2011 and was in that court hearing today. Also, Barbara McQuaid is with us. She's a former U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Michigan. She is also an MSNBC legal contributor. And Vicki, when I read the transcript, it seemed to me that ending of hearing from two of Jeffrey Epstein's alleged victims was, for me, in the reading of it, the most moving part of the day.
Well, I think, so the judge actually set it up in the beginning. And there was a ripple that went through the courtroom when he said, there are victims with us today. And you could see David Boies and Bradley Edwards, two attorneys sitting at the back. And I think everyone was
representing those.
Yes, and everyone was waiting to see if they would speak. And you know, one of them, in fact, the first one, Annie Farmer, was one of the women who spoke to me back in 2002, Lawrence, for Vanity Fair. And this was the first moment that she got to sort of stand up in public and I think feel that she would be believed. And it was an extraordinary moment. They moved to the front. Jeffrey Epstein never looked at either one of them. He kept his eyes dead focused on the judge. And both of them gave short statements, slightly trembling, but it was a really, I think, extraordinary moment. And it's a sort of landmark in this story of how the culture has turned.
In a courtroom like this, when the defendant is sitting there, he's usually has his back to you for the entire proceedings. It's hard to read a reaction of the defendant from where the press is normally sitting. But what could you get from Jeffrey Epstein, especially when the girls were, they're now women, they were girls, yeah, when they were on the witness stand?
Well, so Bradley Edwards, Courtney Wild's lawyer, told me afterwards, so he went up with Courtney Wild as she spoke, so he could see Jeffrey Epstein. And so he told me that Jeffrey Epstein's face did not move, that he stayed fixed on the judge. I mean, I could see him, as you say, from behind, bolt upright, shaven, in the blue prison uniform. You know, he was putting on the show of his life, and he put it on, I have to say today, because this is a very big decision that's going to come down on Thursday.
And Barbara McQuaid, this judge seems disinclined to give people in these situations a bail. But when he hears today that we found one fake passport in one of his homes, and the judge knows that he has a home in the Virgin Islands, he has another home in Paris, another home in Florida, the judge could be wondering, how many fake passports does he have in safes in the other houses that someone in the Epstein operation could get to him?
Yeah, this seems like a strong case for detention. Ordinarily, there is a presumption in favor of release unless a judge finds that there are no conditions that can, number one, assure that the person will come back for trial, or two, assure the safety of the community. In this case, there's a rare list of just a few statutes that has the presumption going the other way, and that is that the judge is to presume detention when a defendant is charged with certain very serious crimes, and it includes sex trafficking of minors. So he's already behind the eight ball there. And then when you have some of the facts that came out today, like a passport in someone else's name saying that your residence is in Saudi Arabia, and some very compelling testimony from victims, as well as payments that look a little shady. We don't know exactly what those are for, but to suggest potential witness tampering, I think all of those things, along with that presumption of detention, makes it a very strong case for detention.
So that's why they were able to keep him in. And of course, you guys know what happened after they were able to detain him. That's right, you guys. We went from the origination. We came all the way up. We talking to witnesses, and we gonna keep that ball rolling. Do your boy a favor now. Double tap that screen to get those likes up. Hit that notification bell. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, it's the perfect time to do so. Let's keep on moving, y'all. What we got up in here? God bless Bugotti NYC. So the Liberty, they don't want to get canceled. I find it hard to believe he didn't plan for this. What's the monkey on the side doing, sucking his fingers? Brinkle Brothers. Let's get Brinkle Brothers, the HNIC, up out of here. Brinkle Brothers. Doom, 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 doom. We call this an active hunt. Doom, doom, doom. Boom. Bang! Out of here. Now we got to keep on moving forward because now we got a lawyer that blasts. We have an attorney that blasts the administration and says they cannot believe that this is going on. This is one of the lawyers for one of the victims here who's speaking out. They can't believe that this lady Ghislaine is actually getting a word in edgewise.
Is Spencer Couvin, a Florida lawyer who represented multiple Jeffrey Epstein victims. So Spencer, thanks for being here with us.
Thanks
As
for
the
having me.
DOJ is, contemplating. And joining us now is Spencer Couvin, a Florida lawyer who represented multiple Jeffrey Epstein victims. So Spencer, thanks for being here with us.
Thanks
As
for
the
having me.
DOJ is, contemplating what to do, whether they'll release Maxwell's interview transcripts with the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. How do you see this as someone who has represented survivors of this abuse?
Well, thank you. I mean, as we have always stated, since the beginning of these cases in 2007, everything should be made public except for the victims' names. I can't tell you how insulting it is that the administration is more concerned about potential names that are in these files other than the victims. If you have associated with Jeffrey Epstein and you have done that on numerous different occasions, your name should be released. The public needs to see these names and needs to see who was regularly socializing with this pedophile, with this sex trafficker, not only him, but also Ghislaine Maxwell. There is absolutely no reason why we should not see who these people are so that we can then ask them questions like you in an interview about why they were there, what they were doing, and who they were talking to, and where they went.
Do you think it would be re-traumatizing for survivors of this abuse if they release the transcripts of these interviews with Maxwell?
The thing I keep hearing about is this transcript of an interview with Maxwell. It's a fallacy. In the legal world, we oftentimes as attorneys will meet with witnesses before we go on the record. I have no doubt that the attorney sat down with Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney and possibly her and sat there and spoke to her before they hit record on the tape recorder. I want to know what they talked about before the recording started. In addition to that, I don't care what that woman has to say, and frankly, neither do the victims from what I've spoken to. They don't care what this woman has to say. She
Okay.
is a convicted liar and sex trafficker.
Right.
What they care about is the evidence.
Right.
Release the files that the FBI currently has and the DOJ has reviewed.
I told you they don't
Release
care,
the
y'all.
thousands of hours of internal video taken from inside of the homes of Jeffrey Epstein. Let the public see that. Let them see the evidence, not lies from a convicted liar.
I want to get.
That's right, y'all. You heard few of the victims are now okay. They're like, you know what? It's been a lot of time. You guys are trying to overshadow our problem that we went through, our term, our pain. You're trying to overshadow it with just the names? No. Let's talk about what happened with them and the accountability. Now we have someone who interviewed Jeffrey Epstein, and they said that they saw creepy secrets in Epstein's lair. Awesome photos that you guys are going to be really bugged out. They call them powerful. It's individuals wait a minute. They say billionaires are eccentric. They all do stuff like this, and all of their houses are kind of quirky in some sort of way. But there were many things about Jeffrey Epstein's home that stood out. I want you guys to pay attention to one point. As soon as the video comes on, we can actually see a lady hanging from a rope as soon as the video comes on. Check this out.
And there are always photos of them with important people.
Always.
Pre-Epstein invites a
Kind of weird story about interiors could have been on the decorating page. In another world, this would be in the style section.
Right.
A rich man's house.
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein invites us into his lovely home.
Right. And there was the suggestion that there was something macabre about this. But in fact, if you looked at the pictures, it literally could have been the over decoration of any billionaire in the city.
Well, by the pictures, you mean not his art, which I want to come back to, because there was a significant lack of art, I thought, for someone as wealthy as that.
We can talk about the art.
Okay,
yes.
well, all right, let's come back to talking about the art. But by pictures, I think you mean his sort of bragging credenza that everybody has in New York. Him and famous people.
Yes, I mean, the thing was, this this is like the devil's lair, but it's a devil's lair that looks like any billionaire's house. All billionaires' house cast a certain way could be a devil's lair.
And there are always photos of them with important people.
Always.
Right. So we saw pictures of him and Bill Clinton. There was a picture of Larry Summers, the former president of Harvard, and obviously Treasury Secretary. There were pictures of Richard Branson, of Prince Andrew.
Don't forget the Pope.
Oh, and the picture of the Pope.
Yes.
Yeah, that was extraordinary.
And I don't remember, was there the picture there of him with Castro? Because that was, I don't know if they got that shot, but that was always there. He was very pleased with
Well, they referred to it, and I was squinting to see it in the actual photo, but they definitely referred to it. So we've got the Pope, we've got Castro, we've got Richard Branson, Bill Clinton, Larry Summers.
MBS.
MBS. Oh, that's who it was. Yes. Okay, because there was a group of sheikhs I couldn't identify.
No. Very, very significant, the MBS thing, because their connection, at least for a period, was quite close, and I think that generated a lot of money for Epstein.
Right. Once again, the mystery of where did he get his money from?
All right, y'all, we got to keep on moving forward now. Hope you guys understand that we can't just keep on doing one topic. We can't just stay on one point, even though you guys love it so much. And what we're doing over here is trying to bring you as much information, wring the rag out, what the home looked like. Because if you had a lot of weird things going on in there, it could kind of spell whatever type of individual that he was. We got to go on over to California now in Burbank. We got a man who was once again something sniffy around here. I'm not going to make a joke about this, but yes, we have a serial butt sniffer. That's right, you guys. I'm not playing. A serial butt sniffer who strikes again. And that's what we're doing right now. I'm sorry. Luckily, he's been arrested, but this guy has been going around in different places where women are at, different places as far as like Barnes and Nobles, ducking behind people, and yeah, getting low to sniff someone's butt. All right, yeah. And some people have some weird, quirky things that they're into, and we got to get into this registered serial butt sniffer. Let's go.
Tonight from Burbank police, they've arrested a serial sex offender again, and they fear many more women may have been victims. A crime alert tonight from Burbank police. They've arrested a serial sex offender again, and they fear many more women may have been victimized by this man. His previous victims tonight are furious. The man keeps being arrested and being released. KCAL's Hunter Sowards is live from Burbank Empire Center, why he was back on the streets doing the same thing. Hunter?
Pat, it's the question everyone's asking right now, and sadly, they fear there's more victims out there. They're asking anyone who may have seen something suspicious here at this shopping center on Tuesday to contact Burbank police. Now, as you mentioned, those victims are outraged that he is allegedly out and being accused of doing something like this again.
I can't believe it.
It's a 2023 TikTok that went viral.
I was so freaked out when I turned around and saw him literally under me.
A woman confronts a man at a Barnes & Noble for getting uncomfortably close, seeming to sniff her.
What are you doing?
That's Michaela Witter. She posted the video frustrated after watching him walk around targeting other women. It turns out that man, Khalees Crowder, is a registered sex offender with a rap sheet that includes burglary and peeping into people's homes with kids inside.
I feel like the justice system is just neglecting everything.
We talked to Witter again just days after Crowder was arrested from the Burbank Empire Plaza. It was Tuesday when several people reported weird behavior, first at the Nordstrom rack, before police tracked him to the nearby Walmart.
Where he eventually worked his way into the women's section, found a lone shopper, and started exhibiting some of the same behavior, getting close to her, uncomfortably close, crouching down as if he was trying to buy something or check something out or look at something.
So I've heard up to 20 women, and what's happened to them, and they're all scared, and I know the feeling.
Witter feels he never should have gotten the chance to victimize anyone else. Court documents show he was out on parole with a history of convictions for lewd conduct dating back to 2021.
It's crazy to think that someone like this, who's constantly stalking and violating these people, is allowed to be out and about.
We took those concerns to police, asking why he wasn't behind bars.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's frustrating, but we do what we need to do.
Burbank PD can only speak for the most recent arrest.
You know, Burbank's a real safe, sweet place, and we just want folks to feel safe. So, yeah, that does really disappoint and bother me.
Shoppers telling us, what are you doing? They just want to feel safe.
Oh my God, imagine that. They need to set them up. They need to put like some sleeping spray up under somebody's skirt and send a real sexy lady up in there and have her go inside to buy something and let him crouch down. And as soon as he let it go right in his face and knock him out. Yeah, that's right, y'all. Zap him with it. Get him from the butt in the butt. That's right, y'all. Oh my God. I know it's not funny. I know it's not. But come on now, serial butt sniffer. Come on, there's even people in the comments that's laughing about that. What about this? He gonna get behind the wrong woman one day. Let me tell you what we used to call them. We used to call them little mermaids, because not every woman smells fresh as the summers, as a lilac, as a winter grove. You know what I'm saying? Not every woman smells so delightful. So he gonna get behind the wrong one with the wrong pH balance. Yeah, we used to call him a little mermaid. You know why? Think about it. Think about it. A mermaid, woman on top, fish from the legs down, right? So what do they smell like? Right, fish from the legs down. So let me tell you something real quick. Me and my boy, we used to date girls, right? He's actually around. Our thing was, if she had a twinge, to let him know, we'd be like, oh, she's a little mermaid. And it's so funny because a lot of the women like Ariel. They like the Little Mermaid. So I'd be like, this is how I found out. I'd be like, oh, yo, be careful because she's a little mermaid. And he'd be like, for real? And she'd be like, oh, thank you so much. I love the Little Mermaid. I am Ariel. But you don't really know what I'm really trying to tell her, what I'm really trying to say about her. So yeah, if somebody calls you a Little Mermaid, you might want to check and make sure that you're fresh as you need to be. We're gonna get on over to Houston because in a shocking turn of events, we got Trump Burger. Yes, Trump Burger, the burger spot that's named after Donald Trump. Can you believe that the owner has been facing deportation for overstaying his visa? Let's see if Trump gonna help him. He tried to make a burger spot after his name. Let's see if you can call up the administration and make sure that they don't get you up out of here, Mr. Trump Burger.
New tonight, KHOU 11 confirming the owner of Trump Burger Restaurants, which has several locations in the Houston area, has been arrested by Immigration and Customs Enforcement and now faces deportation. ICE says Roland Biani, a 28-year-old from Lebanon, overstayed his visa after entering the U.S. back in 2019. He was taken into custody in May and is now out on bond as he awaits immigration proceedings. In a statement sent to KHOU 11, an ICE spokesperson told us, quote, under the current administration, ICE is committed to restore integrity to our nation's immigration system by holding all individuals accountable who illegally enter the country or overstay the terms of their admission. This is true regardless of what restaurant you own or political beliefs you may have.
So they trying to say, don't try to be slick and put a Trump name on that joint, buddy, because guess what? You're still going to get locked up and you're going to have to leave. Alligator Alcatraz. Somebody in the comments says, smells fishy. Talking about that prior story when it comes down to the Little Mermaid. Now the mouse and the police have calmly come together. You know anything about Chuck E. Cheese? You know anything about the mouse that was arrested at Chuck E. Cheese? Yes, there was a mouse that was arrested at Chuck E. Cheese, y'all. Happened in front of the children. Can you believe that? You having a birthday party, y'all all busy, getting busy, dancing and everything, and then the police come in and talk about, yo, you know what? We're gonna have to arrest Chucky because Chucky got some warrants. Wait a minute, don't arrest Chucky. You can't arrest Chucky. Are you serious? Yes, I gotta get you guys over to this story in Philadelphia where Chucky of Chuck E. Cheese, the mascot, got arrested for credit card fraud right at work in front of the children. And the children took it a bad way. Check this out, you guys. Let's go.
724.
All right, let's talk about this arrest caught. Chuck E. Cheese in Tallahassee, Florida. The Chuck E. Cheese mascot.
They got the head on the top of the car over there.
Was arrested in full costume. Police arrested this guy. He's 41 years old. Jermel Jones was allegedly creating and committing credit card fraud. Families looked on as the arrest happened in front of the kids in the middle of a child's birthday party.
Not for the kids.
Police said they were planning to put the cuffs on him outside of the public view, but this guy Jones tensed up and started resisting, and so they had to put the cuffs on him in front of the kids. Oh.
You know a mouse ain't gonna just let you catch them. You ain't got no glue trap. They getting up out of there. So they had to do it right in front of the kids, y'all. Right in front of the kids.
Goodness.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Someone put that sound over this video on TikTok.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Some newlyweds held a...
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Oh my God. What y'all think about that right there now? Now, ain't that terrible? Chucky got locked up. He got locked up right in front of the kids. So, you know, the police, they had to come back and they had to show a little bit of resolve. So, you know what they did? They came back the next day and they had a party for all of the kids. I hope they invited those kids that was crying because Chucky got locked up, because they don't even know nothing about this party.
Also new tonight, the CEO of Chuck E. Cheese high-fiving and shaking hands with Tallahassee police today. Also new tonight, the CEO of Chuck E. Cheese high-fiving and shaking hands with Tallahassee police today.
Chucky got out.
TPD saying they got together to assert their shared family values, recognizing that last week's viral arrest of a man in a Chuck E. Cheese costume there may have upset kids and parents. Local families did have a chance to have a free day of play, pizza, and drinks today. Yeah, mini basketball, definitely my favorite. And yeah, they also got to high-five Chucky himself.
Quite the update.
So yeah, they bailed Chucky out. Chucky got out, you know what I'm saying? Chuck E. Cheese was like, look, you know Chucky got that cheese, ain't gonna be able to hold him too long. You know what I'm saying? Chucky definitely got a lot of that cheese. So, you know, they couldn't hold Chucky too long. I want to be a little bit funny right now. I don't know if you guys want to go here with me, but how many people remember this? Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That was terrible. I almost sound bad as them. Try it again. Let me get to the bottom of this right here. All right, it's Saturday. We're going to have some fun. All right, y'all. How many remember this? Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I love you. Tell me the name of that group, y'all. What is the name of that group? What's the name of that group, y'all? If anybody in the comments could tell me the name of that group, there might be something in it for you guys. Let me tell you. Let me know. Let me know. What's the name of that group? The Great Milli Vanilli. Glass of water, dog. Milli Vanilli. Do y'all remember? Oh, it wasn't a scam. How was it a scam when they're able to do it now legally? We got everybody going inside the booth. They got all of this audio stuff and all of this stuff to enhance their voices. When you got a group like Milli Vanilli, who was the first originators of faking the funk to get a Grammy. That's right, you guys. They came together and they made a hit song called Girl, You Know It's True. Ooh, 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 I love you. You know that, right? And they even went back in the studio to let you guys know that they can sing. That's right, you guys. I don't know if you remember this from back in the days. We're going to go there.
Remember Milli Vanilli? I do. And the scandal that... Remember Milli Vanilli? I do. And the scandal that rocked the music world back in the 80s? These two guys, Rob and Fab, super nice guys, were based in Germany. They had a huge hit record called Girl, You Know It's True, and in 1990 they won the Grammy for Best New Artist. They toured the world to sell out crowds. Two great-looking guys who were great dancers and had great voices.
So now I got to be careful because there's going to be a lot of music that's played on this, but I want you guys to get to the point where they was really letting y'all know. They did some practice, they was not playing, and they want to let you guys know that it was them that could do it. They was practicing. They went in the studio themselves. They was busting their butt to get this song right.
Says, I'm in love with you, girl.
My love right is for you.
Meanwhile, look at who's training him. We got Pierce Brosnan as the trainer right now for a brother in here. Check this out, y'all.
That's right.
Girl, you know it's true. It was a crazy project, and the whole world seemed to be watching, like a lot of the stuff I work on. They practiced and practiced
what's
and
up?
did the best they could, and the whole idea was they were going to hold a press conference, and during the press conference, they'd give the Grammy back, and if somebody asked them to sing the song, they'd be prepared. They could just stand up right there and start singing it. But man, they really couldn't. It's actually a sad story. I mean, both of these guys were sincere.
Yeah, guys, I got to be honest with you. I think that they were just two brothers that got caught up and they let the machine take over. They thought that they would get rich. They didn't look at it any other way. They were just some nice guys. And the sad part about it is one of them lost their life to the tragic events of musicians that actually go through terrible things like this. And we feel terrible for them. But guess what? For the time, it was cool. Don't even front and say you did not sing that song when Girl You Know It's True came out. And I knew it from the start. You would break my heart. Oh, girl, I'm gonna miss you, girl. Giving all the love I feel for you wouldn't make me change your point of view. You're leaving. Them songs was hot now. It's a tragedy for me to see the dream is over. And I never will forget. Y'all remember that song, right? Girl, I'm gonna miss you. If anybody's from that era, y'all know what I'm talking about. And you actually jammed to that song. Don't stop. Don't even try to act like you didn't. You know you did. Look at that person right there laughing. Look at that person right there laughing because you jammed to it, Chance. You know you did. You know you did. Well, who else is over here laughing? Rita, you did it. You did too. Christine, you did too. Yes, you did, because that's why you laughing and you're not saying nothing. You know how people are, right? When they don't want to admit to something, you know what they do, right? They just laugh. They be there like, oh, you crazy. You crazy. Meanwhile, a song is playing in the back of their head like, it's a tragedy for me to see the dream. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about right now, right? And if y'all trying to make some money, I need y'all to hit that link in the description so y'all can fill out a survey and possibly make up to $950. That's right, you guys. And do me a favor. We are the #1 show on YouTube for those people that don't know it from the 6 o'clock to the 7:30 hour, because we ain't no joke. We used to let the mic smoke. And we have the #1 co-host here as well. If you'd like to be a part of the channel, let's go ahead and double tap that screen to get those likes up. Also, become a member. Subscribe to the channel. And yes, believe it or not, we may not have gotten any but a couple. We do accept super chats. We ain't turning down nothing but our collars. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all want to send a super chat in support of the show, we appreciate that, because, you know, Harley ain't been around for a while. And real is real and effect's effect, but I'll be damned if my stomach ain't in my back. Yes, I work, but would appreciate a little bit of love over here too. So yeah, I wasn't doing that before, but a closed mouth don't get fed. Now we're going to keep on moving to what? The Show Your Talent search. That's where you, one of you guys can come up to one of our events that we're going to bring you guys to in Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, or Queens. There's going to be one coming up very soon. The last one we did was in Throgs Neck in the Bronx with DJ Don Data. That's right, with DJ Don Data. It's the Show Your Talent search. Somebody is going to win $250 for being the best in Brooklyn. That's right, the best in Brooklyn. What we do is we go around all the boroughs, we find the best people, and guess what? The Show Your Talent search, you guys. I don't care if you're a singer, a dancer, a rapper. You could be able to do a wheelie. I don't care what it is. If you can cook fried chicken and that's good, I don't care what it is, because guess what? It's a talent. You come up, you show us your talent, and boom, you got the chance of making $250 in the boroughs. After we finish all of the boroughs, we are going to go to one borough, which is New York, Manhattan, and we're going to give away $1,000 to the final grand prize winner. This your boy Bugatti NYC that's going to be hosting the events like you've seen me doing. I always go live from the events, like the last one that we did with DJ Don Dada, and it's sponsored by none other than Big Drip Hard Punch. Anybody wants to be a part of the talent show, all you got to do is go to the website, join the mailing list. Scroll down to the first page, join the mailing list, and you are signed up to the Show Your Talent search. That's all you guys got to do. Again, if you guys got any publishing, any promotions you're trying to get out, all you got to do is send it over to us in a 1080 by 1080 That's right. Promotions 1080 by 1080 to bridgethisllc@gmail.com. If you already subscribed to the channel and you remember, we're going to pop that promo up and everybody here is going to be able to see your promo. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers. We're just that close, you guys. So yes, we're doing an extravaganza right now, a blast, a bonus. Come on, do your boy a favor. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so because we are the #1. And guess what? Like I always tell you guys, it's what's today? Saturday. That's right. I want you guys to have a fantastic weekend. I want you guys to drink some water because guess what? Tomorrow's Sunday and then we're going to have Monday. Do not live for the weekend. I want you to understand that problems present opportunities. Don't give up because God woke us up this morning. And as long as he gives us the breath and the resolve to keep moving forward, that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep on moving. We're going to stay positive. We're going to drink our water and we're going to stay laser focused. We want to pray for everybody who needs prayer right now that's under the sound of my voice. I would like to pray for John. I would like to pray for Rebecca Lanyen Bueno as well as Batty Lynn. Everybody that always holds us down in this show because guess what? We cannot do it without you guys. And with that being said, y'all could have won anyway. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So till tomorrow, Purple Sunday, y'all. Y'all got to wear y'all purple shirts. Y'all got to put something purple on. Also, we have a new Jeffrey Epstein t-shirt that we made. I hope you guys like it. If you guys are interested in getting it, all you guys got to do is go to the website. I don't know if you're interested in getting a t-shirt, but here we go right here. We made a couple of fantastic t-shirts that go along with our theme of what we got going on here. I think you guys might be interested in this one right here. This one is called Release the Files, and it's available on the website as well. If you're interested in the Release the Files t-shirt, you guys can show your support for our bottom line and myself as the designer. Go ahead and pick up the Release the Files t-shirt. It's available at drinkbigdrip.com. And with that being said, you guys, hope y'all have a fantastic Saturday. Y'all could have won anyway, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, get 'em. Peace.